up, y'all?
It's like school, I just challenge some smarts. Try to balance my heart. It's weighing on a triple beam.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
What they really seen. So what we fighting for? See, we all dream big. It's fair to pursue it, cause people mouthing off. Yeah, I'm loaded with a bullet to kill.
What's good, what's good, what's good, what's good, what's happening? Come on through, let's have this combo. Hey. Now I normally do this joint, this is I'm Loaded by Enzo, but I'm gonna open up with this one right here, man. I think it's important, man. We're gonna have some conversation today, man. It's so important, we gotta get to it, man. What's going on, y'all? Tay, what up? Niche, what up? Let's get PD in here, man. Hey. What's going on, y'all?
Good day, everyone.
What's going on, y'all? What's happening, y'all? Run this thing up, man. I hope everybody ready to have this combo, because we're getting ready to have it.
What up, Melissa?
What's up, man? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Hey, run this thing up. Like I said, man, send this to everybody, man. Let everybody know what we doing. We in here, man. Let everybody know we in here, man. Because we gonna get to these conversations, man. Oh, yeah, it's time.
Yes, sir.
Hats, what's up? Hey, man. I think it's time, man. I think it's time to have this conversation, man. It's super, super, super. First and foremost, man. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Yo, it has been
Quite a week.
Week, bro. Like,
quite a week. It's not even the end of the. It's not even the end of the week, and it's been an OD week.
Oh my goodness, man.
Crazy.
It's well, first of all, let's touch the people, man. We'll see what everybody's up to, man. How y'all doing out there, yo? I see
everybody feeling
in here. I see Mel is in here. My man Nick Luch is in here. Hey, Coco Graham, what's up, love?
Yo.
Niche, what's really, really, really good? Taylor, I hope you're still in here. Steffi, what's good, man?
Steffi, what up?
Chan, Krista Chan, what's going on? Yo, man, look, it's a conversation that we need to have, man. It's important. Super, super. I mean, and look, man, I want to be very, very, very clear. Like, I want to start off like, shit. You know what, man? Let's just intro the shit. So we started this thing, right? I didn't do this last week. So we started this thing, right?
You did it mad late. You did it like
late, like
40-some minutes. Yeah, like some crazy.
Hour into this joint. So we started this thing, right? This is episode 7 now. We are like kicking it, man. And I want to like, I really want to start off by like talking a little bit about last episode. Last episode, right? We started talking about George Floyd, and I feel like it didn't exactly quite kind of like bubble over at the time, right? Like it was super, super early. It was really, really and if I'm being honest, I didn't exactly watch the entire video. I really couldn't sit through the entire video. It was too fucked up for me to actually comprehend, you know what I'm saying? Like I had to like kind of like take a step back for a moment. And but we had spoke about it, and since then, yikes. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I think, bro? I think I think maybe we're so used to it that we didn't expect it to be the straw that breaks the camel's back type shit. You know what I mean? So we talked about it, we mentioned it, and then because it's happened so much, we just like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
it's
Like,
just sad, bro.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so since then there have been riots, there have been protests. I want to say protests first.
Yeah, protest goes first.
There were definitely protests first, and then you know what I mean, in a well of like kind of just everything that's going on and the anger that's attached to the situation, then came riots and you know whatever came after that. Man, so yes, you're right, man. There's a lot of shit that you don't think about initially when it happens. It's kind of like you're kind of still, again, processing information. You know what I mean? But also since then, they've arrested Derek Chauvin. They have not arrested the other three, which they absolutely should. Tao, who was apparently his brother-in-law.
Yeah.
And the other two, I think it was Jay Alexander and this other, I forget the other cat's name. But they charged Derek Chauvin with third-degree murder. It absolutely should be first degree. Third degree and second-degree manslaughter. All in that to say, like, there almost like there was a non-fault. Like the idea to say that it's a non-fault, like he didn't mean to kill him. That man meant to kill that dude, and it is terrifying.
They tried to cover it up with the initial quote-unquote autopsy where it was like, oh, he had underlying conditions, then that's the reason. And now, like, as of yesterday, they're saying like, yo, it wasn't no underlying conditions.
Look, I'm
like either way.
Look, I'm telling you straight like this, man. And like there have been protests all over the world. Vancouver, Syria, Italy, Denmark, Germany, New Zealand,
France today.
London, France, Poland. Like it's and then all over the US, literally all over the US. You know what I'm saying?
Every single city. Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think that's like incredible to really, really think about for the moment. Grace was good. I want to have this conversation, right? And for everybody who's in the chat, I trust everybody who's in here right now. It's important that you guys, because you guys are here, we start this conversation like this. We are not newscasters.
Nor are we political
geniuses.
Nothing.
I don't even really fuck with politics like that. It's not my bag. I'd be lying to you if I told you that's the bag that I'm in. This is just an unfiltered conversation to share our experiences, frustrations, and whatever else. With that said, pretty please, with sugar on top, be fucking respectful.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And with that said, there's a few conversations that we're not going to have today. Would you like me to read off the list today?
Please.
All cops aren't bad. Not having that conversation today, guys. Guess what? No fucking shit. Not having that conversation today. Guess what? All people aren't bad. There are good people in the world that happen to be cops. Position and money amplify who you are. If you are a bad person, you will be a bad cop. If you are a shitty person, you will be a shitty billionaire. That is across the board, period. Second conversation I'm not having. What about black on black crime? Not having that conversation today.
Hope y'all got y'all list. Y'all just like checking them off. Like, damn, next time.
Not having that fucking conversation today. So if you think we're gonna have that conversation today, you're sadly mistaken. Crime is crime. It's called proximity. It's called redlining. Look up any crime stat from 2015 on. Next thing I'm not talking about. Oh, you guys only care when a white person kills a black person. Shut the fuck up. You know, you wouldn't know. You don't attend the meetings. And guess what? We do have meetings. Last conversation I'm absolutely not having is the one you mentioned earlier. Oh, but they said he died from underlying conditions. Get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit. I am not having that conversation today. If you have not seen the video, watch the video because we've watched hundreds of them.
Yep.
Not having those conversations today. With that being said, let's have the conversation.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I feel like we should start. I feel like we should start with kind of like what happened over the weekend. So like we went to the protest, right? And I thought that was like really, really important. Joe, I'm absolutely not having the bullshit today. Like I said, that's an absolute fact. So
Free, what up? AJ, what up?
Facts, what's good, man? Thank y'all for coming to the conversation. Join in. We went to the protest this weekend, and I thought that was interesting, man. Like it was super dope to be in the space. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to a protest, but they get really, really powerful from an emotional standpoint, man. Like when this shit happened to Eric Gardner, I was at the Eric Gardner protest. When the joint happened to Mike Brown, I was at the Mike Brown protest. When it happened to Trayvon, I was there. And now this one being, George Floyd, and I'm like, bruh, if there's anything that I can say that's been a difference between the past ones and this one is the energy in the space.
Yeah.
Like it's not just Black people in the space. Like it's
just humans, yo, like humanity. Like it's crazy. I've never felt anything like that. It's my first one I've ever been to, and I couldn't speak for like 15 minutes. Like I've said this, but I just couldn't. I didn't know what to. There weren't words. I was just like, I'm a photographer right now, and I have to capture this because it's important, and that's all I was doing. Like I couldn't fucking talk.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yo, Daryl, man, I appreciate you for pulling up, man. I mean,
Dude,
and the thing is, man, it's not just like getting a chance to see what's happening, but it's feeling it, right? It's like because and Mitch mentioned this, and it was impactful for me too. It was like being there, chanting his name, screaming, "No justice, no peace," and that power is incredible, man. Like it's such an incredible moment because it talks to the importance of unity and community and everyone getting together for one specific thing. Like if we're gonna have these conversations, then we need to have them together. You feel me? Like we need to walk together, we need to talk together, we need to have a sufficient amount of, yo, I fuck with you, come fuck with me. But that means everybody has to fucking participate.
You know what else was cool, man? Like right before you and I met, like when we started it, when we were walking on like the like it's not the West Side Highway. It's like right before you get on the West Side Highway, like those few streets there on like 20th and whatever. And like just seeing like the old people that were sticking out from their windows with signs and like throwing fist up. I'm talking about like old white people, old everything. Like I'm just like, yo, in my head I was like, damn, they probably are remembering like when they did this shit for like Vietnam or some shit like that, and like they're now showing support for us doing it for art. Like it was so many emotions and thoughts in my head, bro. It was just crazy.
Yeah, man. And it's like I think that was impactful for obviously all of us, man. Like the boy. I don't know if anybody saw, but we posted a photo that we took of this kid holding up this sign that said, abolish policing. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But that specific, like it was such a, I mean, he might have been all of like 7 years old, bro.
At most.
Right?
At most.
And what was really, really dope about that was just to see like his dad was with him. He was on top of this Land Rover, And it's just this moment, this like impactful moment. Yo, Jeff was good. You know, this impactful moment to see this young kid out here protesting against police brutality and the death of George Floyd was just been crazy impactful for me, yo.
Nick, what up?
The sign of a woman walking in the street that said, I'm 66, I'm still protesting this shit. My goodness. Yo, absolutely. Like, there's so many things. There's so many fucking things, right? There's so many things attached to this thing, right? So it's like, let's get into police and police brutality. Like, let's just go, let's get straight to this shit, bro. All right, let's talk. What are some of the videos that you've seen? Like some of the videos that I've seen, I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, the problem when you see like the two police cars in Brooklyn drive into that crowd of people. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see today how somebody posted the CBS version of it and then the real version, and CBS cuts it literally right when they like charge the cars. So you'll see the cars pulling up, you see people throwing shit at the cars, and then they're like, oh my God, look at the protest, it's crazy, look how violent it's getting, and then they cut it. And then if you watch the real video right under it, it's like obviously you see what happens right after that. Which,
yeah, man. And it's like, yo, dog, like you see those things, and then you see you know what I mean? Like fuck, man, like I think about, all right, getting slammed on the ground. There's this dude named Kendrick who is an actor on Insecure, and Kendrick was out there protesting, and he shows like, you know, like the shots that he got from the rubber bullets, like the swords and all of that stuff. It's like, dog, like all of these things are a part of this malice relationship between Black people and police. Like, and I think that's the thing that kind of like pisses me off, is when people don't understand these actual things. It's like you had to literally watch somebody get choked out for 9 minutes on camera before you were like, all right, this is a little crazy. But to that effect, it kind of reminds me of the whole Emmett Till situation. You know what I'm saying? Where like his mother had to put his casket open. Yeah, to leave his casket open in order for people to see what happened. And that was the only way that people would be like, oh, that's fucked up. That this is the change that we need to make in order to go to that next space. You know what I mean?
Could you imagine if that person didn't record all 8-9 minutes? If they just cut it after one, or the cops took it away, or whatever the case was, like would it have not had the same impact? Because it's after a while, as a fucking human being, it's just uncomfortable to watch. It doesn't matter. It's like, yo, you are watching. You remember like Rotten.com way back in the day, where it was like, shit, they had horrible videos and shit that would like fuck you up, like real people getting murdered and shit. Like when you see that shit in real life, yo, it's just like, yo, this is like, chill, wait, like what?
Yeah.
I remember when I saw George's video, man, like I just felt like if I was there, I don't know if I would have been able to control myself in the sense of like just filming it or yelling at them, like, or would I have just like pushed the cop, because like I'm watching you kill somebody. As a human being, I can't allow you to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And it's like, I want to say two things in reference to that, right? The people who were protesting during the day are not the people who were rioting and looting at night. I want to be very, very, very clear on that.
No, we were there with the day people.
We were
and you were there towards the end of the night.
Yeah, man. It's like, yo, bro, like you're not about to convince me of that. In Union Square, there was a video that was posted of a white cop throwing white supremacy sign with his hand.
I saw that. He was laughing too.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like all of these things, like watching the video, did you guys hear the cops say this is why we tell us to, yo, man, yes. But this is part of that deep rooted understanding that like, yo, we have we've always had contention with police. Let's start with where even policing came from. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I put this posting in my on my page, and I'm dead serious. Everybody, when you get a chance, go that route. Watch the 13th. Watch the 13th, because it really details prison industrial complex. It details the Black experience with police brutality and across the board. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys think that people who don't protest or speak up against racism are also part of the problem? Let me be very, very clear with you. Abso-fucking-lutely. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. I got this idea called the blind eye attitude. But it's, if you watch the 13th, you get to see those things, man. And the original, I'm talking about back to like 1710. You know what I'm saying? Like, police presence was built specifically to capture slaves. Don't get it fucked up, man. I had somebody hit me up, bro. I had somebody hit me up, and you know, after I posted what I posted, you know, with the kids with abolish policing, and somebody hit me up and they were like, well, I wouldn't say abolish policing, but to each his own. And this is what I mean when I'm like, yo, let's have these fucking conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not shy away from the shit that y'all trying to feed us right now. So if you want to have that conversation, let's have that conversation. And it's like, yeah, but like, okay, well, what would we do without police? Like, we need policing. We need this and we need that. And it's like, all right, cool. Well, let's speak specifically to the idea that, for one, again, good people exist everywhere. You can be a good person and be a cop. The system, the very system that you are a part of, is woven into the seams of racism.
I have a question for people who say that what that person said to you. Is policing the same thing as protecting?
Bruh.
Is it?
Bruh.
I really don't think it is.
Bruh, and that's the thing. It's like, yo, like, and then like, and then it's like, yo, what's the alternative? I'm like, break down, restructure, rebuild, rebrand. The problem is, we've always looked at law enforcement and we haven't looked at the word. It's exactly in the term, law enforcement. You are
enforcement of the law.
Enforce the law. The law has never been set up to protect Black people ever, period, since its creation. Done. Like, that is a fact. That is a fact. You can go and Google it if you need to, but yes, it is a fact. So it's like, well, then what's the alternative? You know what I think an alternative could be? The same way we elect our local officials and we elect our president, we should be able to elect the cops that police our neighborhoods.
Protect. I want to use the word protect because I want to get rid of the word policing, because it doesn't. If you police your community, that means the entire community needs policing. That means we're all like one big evil fucking place, and you need to do that to us. Like,
yo, man, and it's like, yo, like, and similar to that, like, the very, very purpose of having a community is to know the cops and to know the people in your community. I don't know half these niggas live up in fucking Westchester somewhere. They live up in Buffalo, and then they come down here to fuck with us, and then they go back home.
Yep.
So when we talk about electing the police who stay in our community, y'all, we need to know who y'all are. We should be able to police y'all. We should be able to say, yo,
and we need to know y'all history too. Like it shouldn't be 12 years down the line after y'all done kill how many people that we find out, oh, you got a fucking Confederate flag in your office, and you got hats with MAGA hat pictures and shit. Like, why are we finding out about that so long later? Like,
Yeah, she's and Mel said it baffles me that lawyers take damn near 10 years to learn the laws, but cops have 6 months of training. Absolutely, it's the weirdest shit in the world. Why don't cops go to school as long as? Yeah, I mean, exactly. And Rain said, "Yo, we need to arm ourselves." That's a whole nother conversation.
Rain said something a little earlier about doing away with a repeal for 50A. 50A is a New York state law, by the way, which I am just catching up on all these law things because we have to now. But
yeah,
50A is a New York state law that allows the police and any like federal like group of authority to essentially hide any like they can hide the history of a particular cop to protect them from being like put out to the media. Like, yo, I posted it on my story. There's a screenshot of it. If you Google New York State Law 50A, just read that shit. That's wild, yo. Like, there is a law in place to protect them from us finding out the history of a cop.
yeah, like they're not public records.
No. And if you try to make it like if you go on a lawsuit or something and you're trying to like find out the history, they can use that law to be like, no, because of this.
So basically, that's why Derek Chauvin just wasn't named. Like we didn't know how.
We didn't know he was. Yeah, we didn't know
man had
until now.
Run around incidentally and run like a pill 50A. Absolutely, bro. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, when you don't know these things. By the way, I didn't know that.
I found out an hour ago. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and preach like it's an hour ago.
There also needs to be a very, very specific conscious effort to be aware of what it means to to do away with the 13th Amendment. I don't think people have enough consciousness to really, really understand what that means. A lot of people say, oh, it's the 13th Amendment, it freed the slaves. Accept. Except if you are criminal. And then you create a system that criminalizes Black people and people of color, and you put them through that system every single fucking time. So all that shit that they talking about with the crime bill and all of that shit where it was like 3 strikes and you're out, and it's like small shit.
Yo, everything I've been learning since like the beginning of like lockdown and quarantine into the now protest era that we're in, right? Like the wage gap, the laws, like all of these things that it's just like, yo, like this country's, it's free with an asterisk mark on it.
Oh my God, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, yeah, it's free, but nah.
the first line in that documentary of the 13th is the United States makes up 5% of the population of the entire world, but it holds 25% of the world's prisoners.
That's a whole third of the planet, and we ain't even a tenth of the planet.
I was like, what the fuck? I was like, 25% of the world's population, and this is the land of the free. The irony, bro. All these and these are just cops. There's negligence within other facets of the judicial system. Absolutely, everything from the DA, everything down the general attorney, like all of these people. Like,
you know what's crazy? We, as the entertainment industry makes shows and movies about this shit. We watch it. We watch Law and Order. We watch all these shows. It's like, damn, that's crazy. He was a crooked cop and he was a crooked DA and he was. You don't think that's based off of facts?
Bro, it's maddening. It's so mad. So it's funny you say. It's funny we're even talking about this because, like, I don't know if anybody saw the Trevor Noah video, but Trevor Noah did an amazing job of kind of like calculating certain aspects of society and how the relationship between Black people and the cops are not. It's always been this way. And he uses this example of my fault. He uses this example of there being like a contract, right? And there's this contract between the people and the police, and The only reason that we abide by the laws is because you uphold the contract.
Right. It's
And
a two-sided contract.
And when you do not uphold the contract, I don't have any reason to uphold my order. Yep. And it's like, yo, dog, like, oh, I hear all this shit about like that's not the right way to protest. Abolishing policing isn't the right thing to do. Do you really think that makes sense? And I'm like, yo, dog, let me be very, very clear with you. Everybody has this ability to point out what's wrong. People make a suggestion, other people say no, but they don't add any adequate, equally effective solution that we haven't already tried.
My thing with those kind of people is like, if you are prepared to tell me that I'm doing it wrong, then tell me how to do it. If I'm doing it wrong, you must know the right way, what it is. You don't have it. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's like, yo, bro, like, do not stand next to me and then tell me like I'm doing it wrong if you don't have the answer. That's the shit that I don't like. When people do this shit, people do this shit all the time. I think it's ridiculous. They'll be like, oh, well, I don't have all the answers. Well, I don't know what the right answer is. Well,
that's an easy cop out. That's a super easy cop out.
It's like, all right, well, if that's the case, then get the fuck out of my face, man. Don't tell me about a suggestion that I have that you think might be wrong. If you don't know, if you don't got the answers, I need you to move the fuck along because there's progress in it.
Along with this particular part of the conversation, don't make blanket statements that you're uninformed about.
Ooh, fuck, man. Say that again, please.
Do not make blanket statements if you are uninformed. If you don't know, for whatever the reason is, you don't know personally, whether it's a personal reason you don't know, maybe you're affected by it too much, maybe you don't this or that, whatever, you don't watch the news, whatever the case may be, that's cool. I understand and I respect that, but shut up.
Shut the fuck up, really. We have to say that, man. Like, we have to say that. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't stress that anymore. Like, I wanna. You know what? Hold on, Tom. I'm sorry. I gotta give the round of applause for that because that deserves that. Right? You know what I mean? Shut the fuck up, yo. I don't have any desire to have this conversation with you if you don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because the response to that is really like, it's really in response to like all the riots and the looting and like all of those things. And while I understand that, like I absolutely understand that. Let's be very, very, very clear. At the beginning, I would say this is what happens when people are not fucking listened to. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it is still true. But there's something I will not encourage somebody to riot or loot or any of that shit, right? I will not encourage anybody to do that. I think that's wrong. I think that there's something very, very specific about robbing or looting the community that you live in, or that your mother works in, or that your aunt works in, your cousin, all of those things. That shit is whack. Now those people don't have a job per se, and like all of these things. It's like, but again, I want to be very, very clear. There's two things that go along with that. The people who were protesting during the day are not the fucking people who are looting at night. Get that shit out.
Say it again. Say it again, bro.
The people who are protesting during the day are not the people who are protesting at night. I witnessed it myself. Do not fucking play yourself.
Yep.
Don't play yourself. And actually, there's video of undercover white nationalists running around in the midst of these protests and in the midst of these peaceful protests and starting shit. You see those videos of the niggas, of them two girls spray painting Black Lives Matter on that, and they go, yo, what the fuck are you doing?
Bro. Yeah, bro. We were there. We saw who we were with in the day. We saw who was around at night. Like, it's
bruh. I was, whew. And there's so many videos like that. There, the white cop who had the mask on, homeboy was running around,
with a hammer and shit.
Yeah, the fucking bricks that they laid, that they left in the
the car that was so conveniently parked and placed in the center of everything, not even in the fucking lane. The shit was like at an angle. Come to find out, shit didn't have radios inside. Ain't had nothing. That shit was a prop, yo. It was a prop so that we could set it on fire. And then the media shows this shit, and then it's like, yo, look how they wilding out. Look how they've lost control. It's no longer about George.
Yeah. It's like, yo, bro, yo, man, it's so ridiculous, yo, to even think that like when people say things like, yo, don't riot, don't do this, don't do, it's like, all right,
we're not.
We aren't.
We're not. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I will, like, did I see images of and video of black kids stealing shit? Absolutely. I saw them niggas running out.
Yeah, Foot Locker, GameStops and shit. I seen it. And then, yo, let me be the first to say, I saw that, and the first thing I said, I called everybody, and I was just like, yo, like, I get the whole looting shit, but like, this makes us look bad. We look stupid right now. We're running out of here with Jordan boxes like fucking clowns. That shit is,
yes.
Who's that for? You gonna stunt in 2-3 months talking about, yo, look at my fire Jordans that you stole in the middle of come on, son.
Yeah, bro. Like, I'm not rocking with you. And to Mel's point, yo, Mel, you're absolutely, I'm about to talk about that right now. There were cops laying bricks. Yeah, for real. There's a group who their job is to make moves around protests. Yes, I don't know exactly what their name is. Steffi, if you could find that for me, if you could find out what their name is, the group that's like set to go around and start fucking up businesses in the midst of a protest, I would love that. I would love to have that just so I can have that on my mind. I don't want to see a black business torn down yet. I stand firm to say justice for our people who have lost their lives and to say yes. I mean, I get it, yo. You know what I mean? But all right. This, I am just gonna play this shit because she was wild.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Where was that?
Uptown.
And you just made a fucking melee. You took that bus route. Now people leaving this neighborhood who have to go back uptown.
She was there for a minute too.
And you are here profiting off of our fucking shit. So you fucking protest every single last one of you. You think about what it's like to be a black woman in this fucking neighborhood who lives with people in public housing who now has fucking shit to walk through.
Facts. I don't own the rights to this shit.
Who drop off your food, who defends you, who go uptown to a fucking hospital to serve his community.
Yep. Straight up.
So as you're out here, be fucking responsible. Have a fucking plan. You can protest all you want.
You scared the shit out of all of them. It's fucking scary.
I know there are people out here, homeless people, who fucking rely on those things to charge their fucking phone.
It's a fact, bro. It's a
You
fact.
think it's okay to take down a neighborhood? You don't see corporations here.
It needs to be the same motherfuckers that after they do all that shit, they hop on the LIRR and go back home to Long Island and shit, where everything's cool and nice. Nobody protesting over there. Say they shit down.
These people in this neighborhood deserve better. And I'm not talking about the gentrification. I'm not talking about the fucking students who come here and pay cash to go to NYU. I am talking about the people who go to a methadone clinic down the goddamn street.
Talk your shit.
And you fucking think this is a protest? I gave my fucking blood, sweat, and tears for this country.
Black girl, black.
Goddamn years. So when you think about this anger and this fucking rage,
Back to their condos in Westwood, out facts.
every single last one of you gotta be fucking registered to vote.
You fucking right.
Every single last one of you.
Yo, that had me in tears, bro. It was like, dog. Man. That's the shit. I wrote this on when I posted this, but I was like, black women have always been the upholders of accountability.
They tell you about yourself.
And they, yo, facts. They will tell you about yourself, boy. And you got to deal with it. And that's how they end up getting this notion of angry black, too sensitive, overly aggressive. You know what I mean? Like but look, this is exactly it. This is her holding them accountable for this shit that's happening uptown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see fire all over the floor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see trash cans. They destroyed. You know that station on the corner that, you know, homeless people be there charging their phones and shit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've been there charging my phone too on a late night where you like.
I was looking to charge a scooter the other day. I was like, yo, it's got a regular plug or not? Dude was like,
Yeah.
nah, only USB. I was like, I bet. Thank you.
It's like, dog, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've been in a clutch sometimes where you just like, hold up, boy, I need to, like, yo, move over real quick, slide over, let me just and plug up real quick.
Yo, listen, we sit next to them in the train. It's all good, B. It's like, yo, you use this port, I use this port. I bet. Thank you.
Yo, Grace, I appreciate you. We're gonna keep this whole. We're gonna post this whole thing so like you can pull back up and like listen to the convo. But like, that's what I mean, bro. When I'm like, yo, if you think that there are protesters who are out here just doing a bunch of crazy shit and we aren't holding them accountable, there's countless videos.
If you go to my page, the slide post I have with the photos from the protest the day we went, which was like 2-3 days ago, I believe. The second photo, there's a photo of a dude like yelling. He looked like a Pacific Asian Hawaiian type looking dude, whatever. Big guy. He got like an American flag, like a vest, like t-shirt type shit.
I'm trying to.
And he's like, so dude, that same night, there's video of him protecting one of the Target stores out in Brooklyn because he kept going the whole night to Brooklyn and he marched it with everybody. He was in Brooklyn protecting the Target stores with a bunch of other people and being like, yo, like, this is not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to break into this fucking Target right now because what's the point of that? For who is that? That dude. Yo, that dude has been active, yo. If you've seen any videos, he's been there every day. He was leading the chants. It was so powerful, man. Shouts to that dude, man. I wish I would have got his name. I should have.
Yo, man, but just like powerful moments, man. Like powerful moments, man. The Black woman's presence has been the literally the backbone of the Black Power movement. That's a fact. Everybody from Angela Davis to Nikki Giovanni, like the women who add that touch. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of like, and it has to be taxing to always be on the front lines of these experiences, protests, and movements, and never get the consideration or the credit for the passion, the enthusiasm, and the love you bring to the movement and the subject. That shit, like, man, with my mother being a former member of the Black Panther Party, I have to say kudos to. Let me get this round of applause off real quick.
Get that round of applause for Mom, son. What we doing? Carlos, what up, man? Good to see you, bro.
I'm telling you, man. You gotta get that off, man. You gotta get that off, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a real thing, man. Like, I don't want people to pretend that they don't see what's going on. There have been countless amounts of footage for you to see, from Eric Gardner to Trayvon Martin to Mike Brown to Tamir Rice to Freddie Gray to Alton Sterling to Philando Castile, like Mom Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, my man.
How about this? I remember the news reports and the visuals from the news reporter of Amadou and the door and the shots at the door. I remember that, bro. Like, I was a kid, but I remember it.
Yo, Abner Louima, just them. Yo, bro, a plunger, bro. That's how y'all giving it up,
bro.
Bro, and it's like, and the thing is, All right, we gotta get
Yeah.
we gotta get to this shit. Many black owned small businesses are being looted. It's not right. I saw a video where a man was in tears saying that he came from nothing. All right, Jameson, I'm glad you actually brought that up. That's the thing about propaganda media. I know what video you're talking about. That video is from 1992. You feel me? So it's like propaganda media is to throw this piece of footage in front of you and say, look at this thing that's happening now, but it's not happening now. That's from 1992. You feel what I'm saying? And that was during the Rodney King riots when that happened. We saw Rodney King get his ass beat. Like literally, Rodney King got his ass beat. And they filmed it. Like it wasn't even like the Rodney King beating. If you watch it now, it's like holy shit. Like they were like literally like just standing around beating him. I was just like holy fucking shit. And then like we talked about this the other day. It was like think about all of the pieces of footage that don't get filmed.
And also, man, like that's what makes it hard. Like when people want to have that argument, like, yo, not all cops are bad, it makes it real hard to have that conversation when I just watched the group of like 7 people beat somebody up. And not one of those 7 people was like, yo, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe chill.
No.
It's a hard conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like, how could I say that?
Yeah, it's like, yo, dog, it's like they chalk it up to, what did Chris Rock say? They chalk it up to a bunch of bad apples. And it's like, how about this? Some jobs can't have bad apples.
How about this? If the apples are rotten, it means that the tree's rotten inside. I know. You see how much fucking plants I have behind me? I've been studying plants.
Let me get the.
So I know that.
Let me get. I don't know if this is insensitive, but like, let's get the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's get like talk that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like some jobs cannot have bad apples. Period, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's when we can't continue to move like this, and you can't continue to ignore all of this footage that is on camera and in your face. Like it's funny because like we were also talking about this too, which I thought was interesting, right? Is think about all the times that your interactions with police, right? Think about all of your interactions with police. Right, like now where we've come to in society, you got to be killed in order for it to even make it to the news.
Yeah, sensationalism.
Yeah, like it's not enough to just be abused. You have to be murdered in order for it to make, because it's not spicy enough.
And how about this? Not just do you have to be murdered, we need to see it for a long period of time. 9 minutes. I gotta watch you fucking your life leave your face. And then it's like, yo, we should probably do something about this. That's an episode of Black Mirror, bro. That's what that is.
Bro, yo, it's really, really like terrible to think like they have a fraternity like mentality. Absolutely, this shit is a gang. This shit is a gang. It's the ultimate gang, as a matter of fact. You feel me? And it's like, for me, it's like we gotta do story time, bro.
Hit it.
We gotta do story time. All right, let's.
You know the vibe.
Let's. All right. I've had plenty of interactions with the police. None of them were great. How about that? None of them were great. Not one interaction that I've had with police were great. I'm gonna tell my story real quick. PD, you tell your story, and then we got 10 minutes to get to duck out of it.
Dang, first hour done gone by quick.
First hour went by quick, and we still got a shit ton of stuff to talk about. Like
let's keep going.
A lot of stuff to talk about. But first, one of the most memorable interactions I had with police. And I wish K. Briggs was in here to co-sign this with me. But LA, 2013, my brother and I fly out to Cali to be a part of this music festival or this music award show. And we were excited to be there. It was like we had just finished the award show. We went out for a late night, and we leave this spot. Like, you know, the clubs in LA. Anybody who's been to LA, they know the clubs close at like 2 a.m. And then everybody goes to like the after spot. It's usually it's like somebody cribs and shit. We leave the spot, and we end up at a 7-Eleven. When we get to the 7-Eleven, we get our food, and you know we head to the car. I sit in the car, and I'm just eating, and my brother's on the passenger side with me. Three of my bros are in the back. It's 5 of us. At some point, I see a bright ass light on the rear view mirror. I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what is that, man? And it's there for a long time, and in my head, I'm like, yo, like, does somebody not know how to get out of the parking lot? I'm like super confused right now. And then at some point, I hear, I'm like, the fuck? So I roll the window down, and as I roll the window down, I hear, get the fuck out of the car now. I'm like, oh shit. And I look back and I'm like, there's no way for you to know that this is police. This is how bright this fucking light is. Driver, put your hands out of the car. I put my hands out of the car, slowly, show them that I don't have anything. And they like, open the door. I open the door. As I open the door, I get out of the car. And I turn, and as I look to see who's there, there are 3 cop cars in the parking lot at this point. That's how bright. That's why I was so bright in there. So I'm like, I got my hands up in there, shit, turn the fuck around. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. I got my hands up. They tell K-Briggs to do the same thing. We all get out the car. My other boy, Junior, gets out the car. He's like, yo, are y'all fucking serious? And we just like, yo, shut up, bro. Like, shut up.
Facts. Don't speak,
like,
bro.
Shut up. Do not say anything, bro. Just put your hands up. So we get there, and they ask all of us to get out the car. And by this time, when they see it's 5 of us, now there are 5 cop cars in this parking lot. Literally 1 cop car for every single person that's there. So I got my hands up there like, yo, get up against the gate. I get up against the gate, homeboy pulls up behind me, and he literally says, if you move, I will shoot you. And I'm like, this is my reality right now at this moment. And they're disrespectful. It's like, yo, what are you doing here? Where are you from? Do you have any tattoos? Are you gang related? Where's your ID? Like, show me your ID. Show me your ID. I'm like, dog, you can go in my pocket right now. It's in my back left pocket. I am not going in my pocket to touch shit. I was like, with that being said,
Seen this story too many times.
I got business cards in here. I got paraphernalia in here. I got money. Do me a favor and you know what I mean? Be careful. Nigga takes the shit out, takes my wallet out, throws everything on the floor, literally just like tosses everything, money all around the place. I'm just like, this is how respect is given to black people when it comes to cops. And then they can hold us there for 45 minutes, questioning us. What are you doing here? Where are you coming from? Where are you going now?
It makes it worse. It makes it worse. You out of state.
You
out of state now. You're like, yo, I'm from New York. Why your license from New York? What, like,
yeah,
all that.
It's like, yo, dog, what are you doing here? It's like, yo, dog, I'm part of the music industry. I'm here for a show. That's the only reason I'm here. And they can literally question all of us with the same shit. And it's like that type of mentality is what we're dealing with here. So when people tell me that I don't know that all police aren't bad, it's like, don't fucking tell me that, because the reality is the system is fucked up. I don't give a fuck if all police aren't bad. We know that. It's like,
how about this? I know that when I go outside, yo, look, I live in a fucking X, man. There are times I walk by a couple blocks away from you where I live. I live in a nicer, quote unquote, area of like my section of the Bronx. but I'm like 4 blocks away from like the hood type. I walk over there all the time because that's where everything's at, right? So whenever I'm there in the night, they be people wilding out, hood shit happening, like whatever. I was born in Dykeman. This is what I know. So like it's not a thing to me. I've never felt worried when I walk by that kind of shit. But if I see 6 cops standing in the corner, I'm probably gonna go the other way.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm probably gonna go the other way.
The reality, the train break.
What you got?
Water, bro.
All right, cool. I'll take it.
I actually need water for this conversation.
Yeah.
But with that being said, it's like, dog, like to be black in America really is to be woke and exhausted at the same time and still have to work. You feel me? And understand the things that are necessary for you to even survive in those environments, because that's how fucked up it actually is. And like for me, I'm thinking to myself like, well, people might ask me, well, it wasn't that bad. At least you made it out.
What are we saying? Not oppressed enough?
Yeah, like you're almost like it's like we're playing the oppressed Olympics. It's like, who's more oppressed here?
Yeah, like yo, it don't matter the level of like fuckery I just experienced. I experienced it and I shouldn't have. There wasn't a reason for it. And now I'm traumatized. So much so that how long ago was that?
Fucking 7 years ago.
You know the details of how long and everything, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
bro, I know. It's like I know exactly where I was. I know what I was wearing. Like there is certain traumas. There's a trauma that comes along with that, right? Like if you think about if you think that black people watching other black people be killed on screen doesn't give them a level of post-traumatic stress disorder, you are insanely uninformed, wildly uninformed. Because that's it. We are playing the oppressed Olympics and having to deal with mental issues.
and we shouldn't, yo, because that is just, there are so many avenues that these motherfuckers have separated us in. There's so many avenues, and that's just one of them where it's like, yo, but I was actually shot, or I was actually arrested and brought to jail and I did time. You just had an interaction. So it's not enough. So like what? No. It's all fucking bad, bro. It's all bad.
Across the board. It is across the board. Yo, we have 2 minutes. Yo, like I wanna just read off a couple. Like it's ironic white people cross the street when they see black men. That's a fact. Rain said, okay, so some people study from history, especially ladies. Audrey Lawden, Ella Baker. Yes, absolutely. Yes, man, the oppressed Olympics. That's what the fuck this shit is, man. School is where early education should start, but it's part of the system too. That's a fact. The school system is a part of the system too. I mean, think about how schools are even set up in terms of like they prep you to be in jail, my nigga. Like,
bro, what are you talking about, bro? I went to graphics. We had to go through a metal detector every morning. I had to take my Timbs off because the Timberlands got metal in the front of the boot. You had to put it through the machine. And the girls used to put their cell phones in a bra because they couldn't go into their shirts. It was like obviously a violation. It was like, no, my bra has metal in it. This is normal shit in New York in like 2000.
Yes.
Like,
yes, bro.
Regular.
Normal. Yo, look. We got to come back. We got 30 seconds left. I want to come back and finish this conversation. There's still a lot more things to talk about. Rice Krispie Treat, welcome back, yo. Yo, to everybody, man. Aria, man, you missed some tight conversation, man. PD, man, what's good?
Donut.
White man trying to run me over and yell out "All lives matter." Ari, oh my God, man. Where are you right now, man? Are you? I hope you on your way back to the crib, yo.
Yeah, yo, they changed the shit to 8 o'clock tonight, y'all. So
Yeah, man. Be really
get home. Get home.
Yo, be very clear and be very like.
Yo, you on the computer? Can you? Oh, you don't got my sister's number. Never mind. I hit her on the gram. She's like texting me right now, but I can't. I don't want to fuck it up. She's like, "Yo, what's up with the live?" I'm like, "I'm on." Like,
yeah. I got it. I'll hit it right now. But it's yeah. And the crazy thing is, I have at least 20 more.
Bro, we all do. Bro, we all have. If you in New York, if you live in New York City, and I'm not saying just New York City, obviously. This is where we were born and where we live, so like this is what we know. But if you in New York, you any minority at all, you have at least 10 or more stories of interactions with police. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. Yo, man, and that's like, I think that's the sad part, right? Is like, you can tell people, yo, I'm having these types of interactions with police. And the first thing is, they'll ask you is like, all right, but what happened? It's like, but why didn't you? All right, but.
Why didn't you? Man, don't bro. No. Why didn't you? Why didn't you what?
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's another thing when I say, like, there's this blind eye attitude, right? Where it's like, almost like if you don't see it, if you don't pay attention to it, it's just kind of.
Oh, Melissa said, "What did you do?" That's that. We fighting now. If you say that to me, like,
yeah, man, don't say what did you
fighting
do
with you, bro.
Don't say what did you do to me. I might literally like black on you. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that kind of conversation, it's that kind of talk that like moves me from wanting to have these conversations versus not wanting to have these conversations. And I want to say this specifically, right? So while this is not a black and white issue, I want to be very clear about something. If we make it a black and white issue, it absolves everyone else from the responsibility of calling shit out when it's wrong. You have the ability to just mind your business. If you say, yo, it's only white people versus black people, if you say that, then I don't see anyone from the Latinx community standing up and saying anything. I don't see anybody from the Asian community standing up and saying anything. I don't see anyone from the Jewish community standing up and saying anything. You feel me? So it's like, we have to be aware of, damn, there is something very intrinsic happening here. We gotta be responsible with this conversation, right? So if you are white and you're looking to have a conversation with someone, feel free to reach out, yo. I will say this though, there are going to be people that feel like they don't have to educate you. There are going to be people who feel like, yo, fam.
Here's my all right, so here's my thing with that, right? Because I'm okay with having a conversation if somebody asks me, like, you know, what is the big deal with like police? What is it that like you guys have or people have or whatever with police? Like, what is it? I'm okay with having that conversation because like we've said, I have had many interactions and I can tell you what it feels like and what it means, right? But to just say that like so again in a blanket statement and act like you don't have access, like right now I'm trying real hard to like cooperate and not get just like fucking furious when people are like, everyone is this and everyone is that. Like, you don't have a phone in your hand and you can't Google shit. I'm not on social media. I don't watch the news because it's this and it's that. Okay, cool. So you have made yourself blind to everything. You did that on purpose for whatever the reason is, but you're going to say a statement to me that's blanket without having to do any research. When all it takes, y'all learned about 58 a fucking hour ago just by hitting Google, and I typed in New York State Law 58, and I learned it. I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. I was probably talk about that.
How simple and easy that is, right? How simple and easy it is for you to just Google something, and now it's information that you have that you can use at your to your disposal. You feel me? Like, and yes, Ari, you're absolutely right. It's like, why are you like? It's interesting, like, because in the whole like, why are you here? Like, what are you doing here? It reminds me of this video that I saw of this kid who was running around looting, this white kid, and white kid running around looting, just like doing a bunch of like ignorant shit. And in the midst of doing this ignorant shit, my man goes, this woman stops him and she's like, yo, what are you doing here?
Is this the chubby dude with the curly hair?
Why are you, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like what are you doing here? And she's like, yo, just tell me who you're here for. He couldn't say anything. And then at one point he goes, not George Floyd, and he runs off. If you don't understand the frustration, you don't understand why we frustrated, why niggas is pissed the fuck off.
You want to know why it's never a black and brown person that's like in the top space, like doing this? You want to know why? Because we know what the fuck that's gonna do to us. We didn't have the experiences of like talking back to a police officer, just talking back and being arrested for talking back. So why would we be the ones lighting shit on fire? Why? Bro, come on.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. There's certain things that just don't add up, and we're having these conversations, and people are not aware of these things. So you got to put them on game, yo. Does the partner Fury? It's me. People taking advantage of the goal. No, you're absolutely right. I'm not afraid to ask uncomfortable, real questions. It's a must. It's an absolute must. Here's the thing, right? This is really, really, really important to understand, right? You profit, if you work in this industry, like, you profit off of our industry. Like, you profit off of all of the culture, all of the different industries that we work in. We make you money. You
bro, like on a smaller scale, and I know you and I joke about this every time, like we're out at we used to be out before life changed. But like when we're at like a regular white bar or some shit downtown, you know, a fancy little bar, and like Suavemente comes on, and I like lose my shit because I hate that shit so much, bro. Like, it's so bad, bro. Why don't play that fucking song so y'all could cha-cha slide over here? Like, get out of here, man. The shimmy. What we called the last episode?
Oh, fucking shimmy, bro. It's like, I'm not doing that with y'all. Like, I'm not doing that. And I want to talk, yo, because that's important to understand, and because it's important for those who are a part of this to take note of what the fuck this is about. It also requires non-white people to do the same. You have to do the fucking same. Like, there's this, if we're gonna get to the shit. There is a belief that the Latinx part of this country believes that they are either better or separate from black people.
I'll tell you this. And there were some videos I saw from my home city, not too far from where I currently live, all of like 5 blocks away, 10 blocks away, whatever the case is, 10 minutes away. You know how they joke around and like, what's on Family Guy, the maid, where she's like, no, Mr. Superman is not here. Like, yeah. That's it, right? I think, and I know this because my pops called me so much this week. My mom was calling me on my ass, like she saw my gram and she was like, you're at the protest, like don't yada. And of course that was just fear, like, don't go, be safe, but I get it, right? But there is something in the Spanish community where it's like, yo, you know what? If we just comply and if we just go along, everything will be okay. That's a lot of the ways that the older generation in my community, my people act. And I understand where that comes from, and that comes from a place of fear, but you can't do that because that doesn't change anything. And when they want to lock us up in cages and call us rapists, they're going to do it like that. Don't give a fuck if he was being good or not, whatever good is.
Yeah.
We can't, we can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
And
We
and
can't.
yo, and more specifically, some of y'all motherfuckers are blacker than we are. I want to keep it a stack, man. Like, we gonna keep it a hundo.
Bro,
I know,
Honduras,
I know
DR, like,
Spanish people this color, boy. You're not about to disrespect me. You're not about to think that you're better than me or separate from me. That is a fact. So when you start aligning yourself, thinking that you are white adjacent, you remove the fact that you are a part of the African diaspora. You keep it a stack with you, boy.
show, man.
They drop y'all niggas off first. Congrats.
On the way up.
Yeah, congrats. By the way.
On the way up. Y'all were like, yo, you know what? Y'all be partying for too long. Y'all too rowdy. Get off the boat. Like,
facts. It's like,
get off
yo,
the
dog.
boat. Go ahead.
I get it. You know what I mean? Yes, she's like, yeah, I see another Dominican say they're not black, we fighting. In the same boat. Not even just the features too, blacker nose, thick, yo, all of those things.
Bro.
Yes, the Spanish community has been taught to fear white supremacy because they have been labeled as successful. That is a
I read that. That's yeah.
That's a word.
Bro, it's the same reason. It's the same reason, yo. And look, I could line up my Spanish people right now, and they'll tell you, like, when you leave a job, right? So, like, I quit my job to do what I'm doing now full time. When you leave a stable job, it's looked upon like, oh my God, how could you? Why? They were giving it to you. You were safe. Why did you choose to leave? They weren't giving me shit. I was working for the man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like,
and overly working too. You know what I'm saying? Like putting all of my eggs in this basket, hoping that you guys notice me. And that goes across.
And I realized they didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, man. It's like, yo, dog, let's be very, very clear. Y'all are in the same boat. We kicking it here. You just happen to speak a second language. So, but don't get it twisted. When you walk into these, I'm not gonna out anybody, but I remember there was a dude that said to me, he's like, oh yeah, he's like, yo, I would fuck a black girl, but I'd never marry her. I'd never marry one. Bro, like, this is the mindset though. This is what I mean when I say the mindset. And it's like, you have it fucked up if you think that you are gonna walk into these offices and
they're gonna look at you different.
They're gonna look at you any different. They are not.
Your last name ends in a Z? It's a dub, boy.
It's like, yo, bro.
It's a dub.
Bruh, be very, yes, yikes. We get into the shits.
Yo.
We get into the shits. You feel me? Like, that is the kind of conversations that if you guys don't think are happening, they are absolutely fucking happening. People just say what they think, say how they feel, and it just you're expected to just go along. This is what I mean, but this is what I mean when I say, like, black and brown people, you have to take a stance. And I'm gonna say this because
together.
Yes, you have to take a stance, and you have to take a stance together. More specifically, I'm gonna speak to black men and women right now. You have to take a stance. I am for interracial relationships. I think it's beautiful. I've seen amazing relationships happen in those spaces. But be very, very, very clear. You can no longer lay with me and not stand up for me. Period.
Regardless of if we the same race, the opposite race, the third of the race.
Period. You can no longer lay with me and not stand up for me. So if something is affecting my community and we lay down together every single night, you better. You can no longer hire me and not contribute to the the
Not
issues,
acknowledge. Let's say this. Not acknowledge the issues that are happening.
yeah,
You know
not
what I'm talking
acknowledge
about.
the issues that affect me. We're not doing that no more. We're not. That's not how we moving. We're just not going that route. If you expect me to work for you, I expect you to work for me, boy. And the values that you have as a company better match my personal values.
Real shit. No funny. If I'm at a corporation, I'm working right now. I gotta come in today. Nah, I'm not coming in. You calling out sick? No, George Floyd got murdered yesterday. I'm not coming in.
And this is the response. Well, were you related to George Floyd?
No, I said what I said. I'm not coming in.
It's like, dog, that's not how we giving it up anymore. Black and Latino children were both segregated in schools, but it wasn't until Supreme Court landmark decision, Brown versus Boyd. That's a fact, yeah. Everyone wants to use Black women for their bodies and their emotional labor and discard them when they've gotten what they want. It's a fucking fact. Even as Black men, we've been taught to treat y'all like that. That's the word. Bro, I used to have to teach people who I would hire to be my boss at my corporate job because they didn't want me to have a high type. That's a fact, bro. This is why this bubble pop. We found comfort in the silence. That is a fact. I am going to say it one more time. You can no longer lay with me and not stand up for me. You can no longer hire me and not acknowledge and address the issues that affect me and my community, period. We just not moving that way. And all you brands out here who are all of a sudden jumping up and saying, we stand behind racial injustice and we stand behind racial inequality. I'm telling y'all right now, we are holding you motherfuckers accountable for the shit that y'all talking about. If y'all are talking about, yo, we stand behind Black lives, show me. What is your diversity training?
We had this conversation like early on when it was happening, when I started seeing like Complex and this brand and that brand posting these shit. I'm just like, all right, this is starting to look like a trend and a fad. So what are y'all actually doing other than posting this? Are y'all just gonna post this and then it's business as usual? Everybody's regular after this?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm not running with that.
Nah, we can't. Like, yo, Ariana, I plan to go to a protest tomorrow, but it's not gonna be in New Rochelle. New Rochelle is really, really far. I'm not going with you.
It's deep as fuck.
Yeah, I'll try, but I won't make it.
You might not make it back before curfew.
That is a whole fact. That is
real far.
That is a Whole Foods fact. You know, those pieces are important, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially for me, like that's just not how I'm giving it up anymore. You know what's interesting? C Music Live is a media production company, right? That's what we run.
At the core.
At the core, C Music Live is a media production company. That's what we fucking do, right? Exactly. With that being said, we do not have to tell you that we stand with Black lives.
Yo,
we are a Black-owned company. Black lives is our brand.
The culture is our brand. The people are our brand. We've been doing this. This is all we've been doing. We haven't been doing nothing else. We're not doing it for likes or clout or whatever the fuck kids want to call it nowadays. No, it's not for none of that.
It's that's the point, like, of this whole thing. It's like, don't disrespect that angle of things, because all you brands jumping out the window all of a sudden, and like, because it's the cool thing to do, like, it's like,
we see you and we know it. The real ones know it. The real ones see it and they're like, here go the wagon hoppers. Here they go.
Yeah,
here they come.
Like, yo, all you industry professionals who work at like Sony and Jive and Arista and Universal and
all of that, Republic, all of that bullshit.
If I don't see no adequate fucking change, I'm talking about, where's your money going? You talking about Black lives? Where your money going? What does your diversity training look like? Some of y'all niggas don't even have diversity training. You don't have diversity
How about
training?
this? How about this? Because I just learned this recently. Not gonna out the person, not gonna out the company. However, head of diversity, whatever follows, right? How come that person ain't never had training in what it means to be? So they can't even do the job effectively. And when people come to them like, yo, all this shit is happening, what can I do? What am I supposed to do? You don't even know because you didn't have training in this shit. Bro, you can't just put a title up so that HR sees it and it's like, cool, I'm doing it. That don't make sense.
You know what's interesting, bro? y'all niggas are nasty.
We need more than 2 hours for this. I know
Yeah,
the real shit we do.
Yo, bro, we clearly need more than 2 hours for this thing. But let's be clear, like I think a lot of y'all celebs are nasty. I think you brands are nasty. I think like
Fuck Virgil.
I don't want to say
what I said. Nah, fuck Virgil. Say what I said.
I don't want to say fuck Virgil. And I know everybody's upset because they seen the 50 shit. You know what I mean? Like, they seen the $50 bill. Like they seen the 50 they donated.
Let me say this. Not just fuck Virgil. Fuck anybody who's posting how much they donated. You shouldn't be posting that, bro. I don't care if you donated 50, 10,000, 100,000, 200,000. Who's that for? Who's the clout for it, bro? Yo, look what I did. Bro, do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yo, where's Kendrick? Yo, Kendrick is doing mad shit right now, and none of y'all know about it. How about that?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. Like I think like that's one of the things that people don't take into consideration. Also, is the fact that there are people who are doing things behind the scenes. Like you know, like I like I know Jay is doing things behind the scenes. I know B is doing things behind the scenes. I know
Cole
is doing things behind the scenes. I know there are a plethora of people who are doing things. Cole was out on the front lines. So was
Didn't tell nobody.
So was Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yo, Halsey, bro. Halsey.
Yes, bro.
Bro, Halsey out here wiping people's faces down with milk and shit. She not posting about it. It's just people tagging her.
To catch her. Yeah, man. You don't have to post everything you put on the fucking gram, man. You don't. It's so much money off us.
Nova, shout to Cass.
Oh, what's good? What's good?
Kaylani, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Tyler, what up?
Cloud chasing over it, yo, man, is really, really gross. People want to do it for the look. It's pathetic. It's absolutely correct, yo. Donation is supposed to be from the heart, not for show. Yeah, man. I mean, but that's like there are so many people doing some amazing things, yo. Also, got to stop looking to celebrities for answers. Yo, facts. What does Ja Rule think about it? Who gives a fuck, man?
Yo,
Ja Rule thinks at a time like this.
Ja, you got the new Fire Island ready?
It's not enough. It's not.
Yo, Aria said pink bingo. I don't know that. That's dope.
Yo, facts.
Super dope.
At work, someone suggested me post to social media about everyone who donated. I said hard fucking no. Absolutely. It's like, yo, dog, like why?
Why? For what? What is yo?
Because you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you right now what it is. I'm gonna tell you right now what it is. Because you want your check mark.
Yo,
you remember in school? You remember in school when it was like you used to get your check mark and that was the thing that was like, oh God, I did.
All right, everybody, please watch Tomorrowland. I said it like 3 episodes ago. Watch Tomorrowland. You might halfway into the movie, you might be like, yo, what the fuck was Speedy talking about? Why did he ask me to watch this? This shit don't make no sense. Whatever. But I promise you, by the end of the movie, you'll be like, I get it. The meaning in the movie is like everybody talks about what's happening. Oh my God, climate change. Oh my God, racism. Oh my God, pandemic. Oh my God. Who is doing what about it though? Are we just sitting back and being like, damn, that's crazy? Or are we actually doing some shit about it?
Yeah, man.
We talking with everybody right now. We trying to get everybody's opinions, everybody's thoughts. This is our way of doing something about it, aside from anything else that we've been doing in the back end that you might not see.
Yeah.
This is what we're doing right now. We're talking to you guys.
Because, and I think this conversation is important. You know why? Because I also believe this. There is no law, legislation, or or background a piece that can change mindsets. Your mindset needs to be changed. Like, it's really not enough. It's not enough to just change the law. Yeah, we can put people in jail, but now we have racist people in jail. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's
You gotta fix it. How do you fix it?
We're also trying to fix the mindset. Now let's be very clear. When people ask me, all right, cool. When it's even when white people, anyone who asks me, when they say like, yo, what do you want us, like, what can I do? What is it that I can do to affect change in the most appropriate way, right? That was a question that I was asked, and it was like for a long time I struggled with that, because I was like, the interesting thing about being Black during these times is when someone asks me how I'm doing mentally or emotionally, I don't always have the appropriate articulation for where I am in the moment. And that's because Black men just have not had enough training in realizing what their emotional value is and going into their emotional intelligence. We just know, I can tell you I'm angry. I can absolutely tell you I'm angry. I can tell you
but then you're just an angry Black man.
Yes, exactly. And that is the image that you guys see from Black men all the time, because that's what the media portrays. So I would just be another angry Black man. I oftentimes don't have the allotted time or the resources to really unpack where I am mentally. And that is a very real reality. But to that point, to if you ask me, like, what is it that you can do? I think in situations like this, you need to be hyper aware. You need to
read the fucking room, yo.
You need to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? Like,
read the room.
Your support is valuable. Your support is really valuable. But it's really important for you to speak up when shit is really fucking uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. Like, so when you go, so the next time you at dinner with that uncle that says nigga at the dinner table, I'm gonna need you to say something.
Yo, you need to check that.
I'm gonna need you to say something.
I need you to check that.
He just fly out the mouth, like, you know how the niggas do, and he just kicking it like it's just regular for him.
Check it.
Like, what are you doing in that moment? Do you have the ability to now say to him, don't say that? And
listen,
then
I check my elders every time I'm around them. You know what I mean? Regardless of, and I don't necessarily have racist elders. What I have is uneducated elders. And I mean uneducated in the sense of street smarts, and I say street smarts in the sense of like everything we've been through, our generation, that they didn't go through. You know what I mean? Because it just wasn't, they accepted it back then and we didn't accept it. And now it's like, there's this disconnect between us and them generation wise. Where it's like, yo, I got to check you when you say some shit. Cause it's like, yo, that's not cool. Let me tell you why it's not cool.
facts.
Or let me tell you why what you said isn't correct.
Yep.
I got to check it.
And y'all said it. He's like, oh, that tia that calls everybody Moreno. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yo, Moreno is not a cool term. Like, it's like, bro, it's not.
Yeah, and it's like they're so used to saying it, they don't even know that it's a thing. They don't even know it's bad. They're just like, yo, man, that's how we describe y'all.
We can't call Black people Morenos, and we shouldn't call Asian people Amarillo, and we shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, like, it's not okay,
That's
bro.
so crazy to me, bro.
It's not okay because there's white people calling us spick and you don't like that shit, right? So what's up?
Oh my God, bro.
Don't do it.
And it's like, yo, man, like that same conversation also kind of like piggybacks to like when they don't understand our stories when it comes to police brutality. And I'm like, let me be very clear with you, right? When you stand up for police, especially in the face of police brutality, you are standing up for a job. It is a uniform. You put that thing on and you take that shit off at the end of the day. That is,
bro, I said it in a tweet or something I posted. The biggest gang and the problem is not red or blue. It's red and blue. It's not red or blue.
Get your
Did you
shit
see
off.
the dude?
Get your
Did you
shit off.
see the? Did you see the dude that was in New York with my man, my Hawaiian Pacific man?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? He was protesting in front of one of the government buildings downtown. The same night we were there.
Mhm.
Dude had 2 sticks, and he had the red flag, bandana, blood shit,
Yeah.
and the blue shit and the Crip shit. And he was holding up, bro. It's not red or blue. It's red and blue.
That's a fact. That is a fact, bro.
It's
That's-
always been that, bro.
And that's an impactful thing to think about, because it's like, I want people to be very, very clear. It's like the institution of policing is deeply rooted in racism. Your prejudice is rooted in racism. Your bigotry is rooted in racism. So it's like,
And you don't even see it. That most of the time, the shit you upholding, the laws you upholding, ain't even for your people.
It's not for you. You hype
It ain't
them.
for you. You a
hype
pawn.
them. You like, yo, fam, like, nah, I'm upholding the law though. I'm here. I'm in these streets. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
holding
but guess what? When it comes time, you're not going in the house. You're going out in the field.
My point exactly.
When
It's
it's
like
time.
It's like, dog, the difference between, that's why, like, a friend of mine, she was saying, yo, but my husband's a cop. He's a black cop. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let me be very, very clear with you. Your husband wears an outfit. When he takes that outfit off and he goes to Texas, you know what he is? Black man.
I got a whole story on that, but I'm not going to say it because it's too close to home.
Bro, it's like, dog, like, don't Bloods and Crips are silent. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, like, there's so many aspects of this thing, man, that, like, this is a conversation that can go on literally for hours and weeks and all of this shit. Like, it's super, super important though, but it's because it's like there's so much steeped into all of this. You know what I mean? My experience is steeped deeply into this. Like, I've always, bro. All right, you know, let's do this real quick. I'm gonna do another story, just so people understand where we're going.
We got to remix that, like add a beat to it or something.
I know, right? I gotta get like
a little drop.
Yeah, like a cute little drop on that shit. Like, I was gonna do this, but no, but it's not enough. But one of my first times dealing with racism, actually the first memory of me dealing with racism or understanding that I was different at the very least, was when I was 8 years old. Y'all remember Manhunt?
Absolutely, man. 1, 2, 3.
Whoo, bro. Everybody put their foot in dick dog shit. You have not it.
That shit was like tag for
Yeah,
gangsters. Like,
it was
like
a block
rough tag. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And where I grew up, right? I grew up in East Flatbush, and in East Flatbush there was Nostrand and like Linden, and then there was Nostrand and like Lenox and back, and that like the Lenox side like had a bunch of that was where like a lot of the Spanish community lived. It was like that block, and most of my friends lived on that block. I had a few friends that lived on Linden too, obviously, but that's where like I used to hang out. And I remember we were playing Manhunt, and I was 8 years old. I'll never forget this, bro. And we were playing Team Manhunt. I don't remember if you know how Team Manhunt worked, but Team Manhunt worked was like if you
that was fun, bro.
If you caught the leader, that like you then everybody.
Yeah, it's like capture the flag type.
Yeah, capture the flag, basically. So that's how we would do it. And I remember we caught this girl's leader, a white-skinned Spanish girl. And I remember like teasing her a little bit, like, you kids are pieces of shit. So you tease a little bit, and I was just like, we caught your leader, we caught your leader, that kind of shit, right? Yeah. And I was doing that, and she turned around and she said, "Yo, shut the fuck up, you black bitch." And I remember it stopped me, bro, like stopped me in my tracks, bro. I just remember being like traumatized. Like,
it's like, what does that have to do with the game? Like,
yeah,
I'm so confused. Like, wait, what
happened, bro? And it was like, it was a reality of one, who I was, two, where I was, and 3, although I hadn't really learned much about racism at that moment, I knew what that meant. I knew that I was different. And I knew that it meant that, like, I couldn't really be with, like, you know what I mean? You can hang, but you ain't really hanging. You ain't really.
I told you, yo, we had this conversation. I told you my shit. I told you my story.
Hold on.
Not tell you. My fault. Tell them.
I got you. I got you, King. Go off, King.
So this is, yo, listen, this is, I just want to say, first and foremost, happy birthday to my man, Mr. Skywalker, right there, because he just turned 33, right? And I'm about to turn 33 on Sunday. It's the week of the Gemini, you know, gang. Shout out to my guy, Abs, just turned 33 as well.
That's a
but
you heard?
I'm 33 now, right? So the fact that I remember this will tell you that it's just some kind of like crazy trauma shit, right? Mm-hmm. So like I'm in kindergarten. All right, rewind. We need to rewind. Drop like the little that shit. We need that.
Right. We're gonna find one.
We gotta get that. All right, so rewind. I'm in kindergarten, and this is like my first year of school. This is before like pre-K and all that bullshit existed, right? Mm-hmm. So one of my best friends at the time is a dude named Brandon. Brandon is like Akon black, like he's like black, like African black, right? Super cool dude. This is like my best friend. This is like my guy, right? And we in class one day, and my pencil, the fucking eraser fell off. So I'm like, Brandon's just in front of me, right? So I'm tapping Brandon on the back. I'm like, yo, Brandon. Turns around, I'm like, yo, dude. I was like, yo, can I borrow your eraser? My shit broke. It's no good. Can I have? Obviously, I ain't say shit. I'm in kindergarten, but I'm, you know, paraphrasing, right? So I'm like, yo, can I borrow your eraser? My joint broke. Brandon turns around, and out of nowhere, he's just like, yo, like, I can't lend it to you, man. Like, my mom said, don't lend it to, like, no light-skinned folk. And just turns back around, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like hurt, confused, because I'm like, damn, son, like, yo, Brandon, I thought you was my guy. Like, what did I do to you? Like, did I say something to your mom? Like, what happened, bro? He was my guy.
It's crazy to think about, because like
it's like these instilled like things from like generations down. And yo, like me and my girlfriend, you know, we talking about having kids in the not too distant future right now. And like one of the things I want to make sure, that no matter what, the way I feel about white people and the way I feel about certain classes and ethnicities, that I don't pass that shit down to them, because it's fucking toxic, bro. Mm-hmm. The shit is poisoning, and it keeps going, and then nobody progresses. Generations don't progress because we said some stupid shit in front of our kid, and now our kid is like, yo, black people are bad, white people are bad, Indian people are bad. You know what I mean? Like that shit is past generations, and we can't do that. We got to be sure that when we have kids, check yourself. You finna say some dumb shit, go say that shit in a room to your spouse. Don't say it in front of your kids.
Yo,
that's my speech. I'm done.
It's interesting, right? Because it's like you'll have this moment of wow, like it's a shock moment, right? It's like it's literally culture shock. You know what I mean? And you deal with that, because I mean, let's be clear. Like I grew up in Brooklyn, and I don't think I remember seeing a white person until high school, really. You know what I'm saying? Like it just wasn't a thing. Like the whitest kids that we had at our school, one was Puerto Rican, the other one was Jamaican. Weirdly enough, how funny was that? But it's like
the whitest kids you said, there was one Puerto Rican, was Jamaican. Wow, yeah. Crazy.
Jamaican girl and Spanish, Puerto Rican kid named Chris. Chris was my man too. That was like my guy. But Chris looked like a white boy, but he was just, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's another thing that I think is interesting. Is like because of the African diaspora is so widespread, bro. Like it's like you really, really have to understand like the context of these things to understand why being racist or having racist thoughts or saying things that are racist is fucking ignorant, bro. It's just really, really, really ignorant.
It's a waste of time, yo, and energy, bro. It's dumb.
Waste of time, man. It's like niggas be tired. I don't got time to be like trying to figure this shit out for y'all. But actually, you know what's funny? I want to say this too, right? There are a lot of people. If you are trying to figure out how to educate yourself, there are going to be a lot of people who will not want to educate you. This is my thought process on that, right? I hear a lot of people say it's not my job to educate white people on blackness or racism or police brutality, and it's like they'll quickly go to read a book, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, I understand, but this is something that I noticed during the protests. Was we were out there and people were out in droves, like white people were there out in droves, right? They saturated the black people that were there, which was interesting enough, right? And I remember seeing people, and I didn't know exactly how to, think about this at the moment, but or how to process it at the moment. But then I saw a video of these two black kids talking about it, and I was like, all right, that makes sense. But they were saying, they were like, yo, you can see white people have shown up, and they're like, yo, we're here, we're ready to be a part of this thing. Tell us what
they know. They know what to do.
They were looking for purpose and direction. Like, yo, y'all asked us to show up. Here we are. Like tell us what to do. And it made me think
or they would do the wrong thing.
Yes. And it made me think about this too. Like, remember back at the beginning of this quarantine when niggas was like, yo, if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill or a business started or a venture created, then you're not looking at this thing the appropriate way. It made me think, one, people do not know exactly where to start, right? And I can tell you, yo, just go start a business. But if I don't know exactly how to go about that, I would like to go ask that of someone who is a professional, who has done it, who is an expert in that subject, right? So when it comes to educating white people or non-white people on the institutional racism that happens to black people and in police brutality, who would you feel comfortable leaving that up to? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would you feel comfortable leaving that task up to? Just their random thought process. And I'm not saying like you have to shoulder them or hold their hand through this process, but it's like, yo, all right, cool. Let me give you a place to start. Watch the 13th. Read the book.
The way I see it ultimately, and this is something I've talked to you guys about this and shit, like just the way I feel about like uneducatedness. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are not educated on the subject you are looking to speak upon or are going to speak upon, maybe don't speak upon it.
Yeah.
That's literally just it. And that goes for anything. Yo, bro, when I put up any post that has to do with a political thing, and that's rarely, I don't do that kind of shit. Because again, when we started this, what we said, yo, we're not a political podcast. This is not that's not what I am about. It's not what we do. But when I choose to do it, I'm going to make sure that everybody's name is spelled right. I'm going to make sure that everything I'm saying is correct and you can factually check my shit. Because I don't want to look like a fucking dumbass. Bro. I call out people who are stupid. I don't want to look like that.
Bro, you know me. I am a stickler for fucking research, bro. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this research. I'm going to work these words. You'll hear what I'm saying and you're going to feel what I'm saying. That's how I do shit. That's how I focus on shit. Because what I hate is to read some shit and it says, well, sources say. It's like, fam, if you don't tell me who these sources is, if you don't get me to the shit, like get me educated. That's
bro, how about this? Shit. I didn't post the black frame that everybody's posting in the world, the fucking sheep are posting. I didn't post that until you posted it, and I read what you said because I didn't know that. I saw it, I read it, and I was like, damn, that's real. And I hopped on YouTube and I did like 2-3 videos worth, watched the shit, got educated on it, and I was like, yo, fuck with that, and I stand with that. I'm gonna post it. If I didn't stand with it, I wouldn't have posted it.
Bro, Imagine that. Imagine if you would have heard the 50A about 50A and you would have just posted it without actually looking the shit up.
Bro, I can't post some shit if I don't know what it's about. I can't, because if it says some wild shit that doesn't align with my values, then I'll look crazy.
Yo, that's a fact, bro. That's a fact, and that's why like we have to be like vigilant with the information that we give. We have to be vigilant with the information that we give, because it can send someone spiraling down a terrible space. Can we do? All right, I'm seeing.
We gotta get to these comments, yo. We've just been like.
I'm sorry. We are absolutely have to. White girls always lost and have identity issues. We can't keep coddling them. Maybe we should have a day when. All right, we need to know ourselves and everyone around us as well. That's a fact. If you know I have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. Do y'all want to do a Zoom call? And continue talking about this? I mean,
We're doing a Zoom call tomorrow with some of our other friends and like a bunch of people we don't even know, honestly. But, man, should we?
I mean, it's up to y'all, yo. If y'all really want to do a Zoom call, and we get on the Zoom call real quick.
Somebody needs to log in for the unlimited time, because I'm broke and we ain't trying to pay for that. And right now it's like 40 minutes. So you know what? Give me. It's not expensive. It's not expensive.
All right, cool. So then, if it's not expensive, we'll take care of it. We'll take care of it. And we'll just like.
They calling for the Zoom. Look at this. Look at the chat, yo.
All right. Well, I mean, look, man. Let's.
I guess.
I'll send I need everybody to DM C Music Live. Like, I need
DM your email. DM your email, because I swear the Zoom should go.
Yeah, that's how we have to do it. Like I'm willing to go another hour talking about this. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, if it's $14, we got it, bro.
Right, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
We don't even worry about any of that. Like we got all this. We'll keep the conversation going. But with
I
that,
gotta plug my phone in and shit.
Yeah, I do want to say this though. Like, this is the conversation that I wanted to have with y'all. You feel me? And more specifically, while it is cool to have the conversation, let's talk about this action. Right? Can
we? Yo, we got 10 minutes. Talk about this, bro. I'm gonna let you rock. Do you think?
Let's talk about this action. People are like, yo, what do we do? It's been happening for so many years. What do we do now? I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? People need to get fucking ready. They need to get ready. And this is how you do it.
Oh, man.
More specifically, let's start with the first thing. I donated to the George Floyd Foundation, the Ahmaud Arbery Foundation. Same thing for Breonna Taylor, all on change.org. If you have the ability to do that, you should do that. Here's the other thing we need to be doing. Fill out your fucking census. All that federal funding that you see going to other communities, where they get good, quote unquote, good police, or they get that Trader Joe's that you've been wanting, or those speed bumps, or reconstructed roadways and playgrounds and those lunch programs. All of that comes out of the census. You need to tell people where you are so you can get the funding that you need. I know that that's not sexy information, but if y'all motherfuckers don't do it, you really, really can't fucking complain. What else can we do? Find out who your local officials are. Find out who your local. This isn't sexy information. This is not sexy information. I'm glad you put Ari. I'm glad you putting this shit up there too. Find your strength and know your role. You have the tech people. That's a fact. Everybody plays a very, very significant role in this thing. Find out who your local officials are, specifically your district attorneys. These are people who have the influence for the funding for police. I just
learned who my DA was. She just so happens to be the first woman and the first African American woman in all of New York State to be the DA. Shout out to her from the Bronx. Her name.
You know what, man? We've been giving black women they flowers. Let's continue giving black women they flowers. Let's continue giving black women.
You hear me?
You know what I mean?
Do it. Keep going.
Also, if you find out who your DA is, they can influence funding for police. You can decide if you want to defund the police department, which I think is interesting. Write a letter to them and tell them what you expect and what you need. We need to come up with a 10-point plan. I do have a 10-point plan. I'll show it to y'all. I'll send it to y'all when I get a chance. What's the other thing? Find an organization that you trust. Find an organization that you trust and join it. To keep it a buck with you, I say join it and become an active member, because I don't think we need a bunch more organizations popping up. There are plenty already. There are plenty already. Sign up for one that you like and be a part of it. Be an active member. Like, being an active member means like, all right, cool, I'm gonna pull up to these meetings when y'all motherfuckers is happening.
Yep.
Period. Vote.
Yo, I'll send my voter registration form, yo. Crazy. I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist. Yeah, I know I believe in a lot of crazy, wild shit and whatever the case may be, but like, what I saw yesterday, man, when I saw the bitch ass motherfucking chief go up and talk shit about how he's gonna stick the army on us, I never seen that. I never read about that. They never told us about that in the books, about no president doing that shit. This motherfucker put the army on us. You understand what that is? The fucking army. They're coming out with AKs and all kind of shit. There's tanks rolling through the street right now. We look like Iraq.
Yo, out
You
of
understand?
control, bro. You have to fucking vote. And in the locals, don't get it fucked up. The people who I know this isn't sexy, but you need to go figure out who the fuck is controlling your community. If you can figure out who's controlling your community, you can figure out how to pull back on racial injustice in the police department. Let's be clear, the fabric is deeper than that. The fabric is deeper than that. So you have to do your due diligence. Go find out. Find out how we defund the police.
July 1st is the date.
Yo, bro, I am
As per
for
post.
that. I am going to put, like, right now, what we're working on. Actually, I have a list of all the organizations that people can join if they're interested, right? I am going to create a page on the C Music Live website. I will send it out to y'all. That way you can get a chance to see what it is that some programs and different companies that you can join. I'm also going to put the information for you for elections. I mean, I have it for New York City. You might have to do that on your own if you live outside of New York City. Here's something that's really, really important. Get in shape.
Yeah.
Like, I know it probably sounds like some bullshit, but let me be very, very clear with you. Walking during a protest for 7 or 8 hours is a long fucking walk, boy. It's a long fucking walk.
I should have do it to you, bro. What we did, we walked the other day for like almost 2.5, 3 hours, and then we rode city bikes, which city bikes are like 200 pounds for no fucking reason.
Yeah, it's like, yo,
And
bro.
yeah, bro, it's tiring.
It's
You know what I
like
mean?
saying, it's like you need to be in shape.
Stamina.
Your endurance needs to be well for this. And I mean that to say body, spirit, and mentally. You need to educate yourself. You need to be intellectually in shape for these conversations that you need to have. And those conversations take a lot out of people.
Yep.
Be ready. Be prepared.
Yep.
And I mean that in every sense of the word. So if you don't have a regimen to get your body in shape, you need to start now. You need to fucking start now. Now,
Just make sure you're ready. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're ready. And ready and willing and able.
Because let's be clear, man, the streets is ready. Streets is ready, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Also, save your money. If you are interested in starting a business, start that business. If you've
Or at
never
least look into what you need to know to start a business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
all of those things, man.
Yes. It's like, dog, start your business. Like, if you don't know why I'm saying start a business, read up on Black Wall Street. Please.
Yo, bro, I knew a little bit about it, too little bit about it. You schooled me the other day when we was talking, and you told me everything, and I was just like, yo, I had no fucking idea. Now I'm like on YouTube and shit, like, you know what I mean? Like doing the research.
You know what's funny about that conversation, bro? Do you know that the Watchmen series on HBO.
Yeah, I did. The second series was it's based off
based on that, and it's like, yo, dog,
Yeah.
like those things are important. Like if people get a chance to see what we're doing, then we can have the money and the infrastructure to do other things that allow us the freedoms that they claim already belong to us.
Yep.
Like real shit. All of these things are important. All of these things are critical to the fabric of changing the conversation around policing, police brutality, and black and racial inequality issues in America. I'll be honest with you. How about this? If y'all have any other suggestions, let's be clear. I don't have all the answers, but I have some solutions. Let's try some shit. If, like I'm not just the nigga like telling you, yo, well, you know, I don't really have all the answers and not giving y'all some suggestions. We got some suggestions on the table. Let's start. Let's see where it goes. Because I'm telling y'all right now, we are not going to be here to see this thing all the way through. It's going to be a long.
This is look. People have been calling for the revolution. People have been calling for this and calling for that. We here now. Here we go, guys. Yo, you know when you reach the top of the roller coaster and you're like, yo, shit, now I'm gonna feel it. It's about to go down. We here.
Yeah.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
So what we doing?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
What we doing?
That's how we giving it up. Period. And that's on period.
And that's on the game.
That's on the neighborhood.
On the neighbors.
You feel me?
Yo, we got 2 minutes. Listen, I don't know what we're doing with this Zoom. Lo, let's convene you and me after this. Everybody send your emails. Please DM your emails to the C Music Live DM, and we'll send y'all this.
Yeah,
this
like I'm willing,
chat.
I'm willing to have this conversation. Let's have this conversation. Let's continue it. If I'm being honest, I just gotta like look up what the Zoom shit looks like real quick. And
Yeah, I gotta like restructure some things because if it's cool with y'all, we would love to film the Zoom chat. If not, tell us if it's not cool, tell us because I can't see the comments right now because I left and came back. But if it's not cool, just be like, yo, I don't want to be filmed, whatever. If we get that in your DM, we won't film it. Cool. But if it's cool, I'd love to film it just to have it for the archives. You know what I mean? So
can we say 7:30?
Yeah, give us a good give us a good hour and a half.
I say
or half an hour.
Yeah, give us a good half an hour, man. Let's do this joint. But please put your emails in the C Music Live. Like tap, you see at the top left hand corner, tap on C Music Live. Put things in the chat. Let's keep this conversation going. Yo, Nick, I appreciate you for being here, bro.
My guy's here, yo. Fuck
I
with Nick.
appreciate you for sticking around. If you want to pull up to the Zoom, we would gladly appreciate it, yo. But this is the conversation. This is the conversation that I want to continue having. I want to like. This is again. We're not a political pod. We just kicking it though.
We're kicking it. We talking with Chai. You know what I mean?
We fuck with y'all. And that's on that, boy.
Play something real quick. We got exit out of this. Yo, please send your email to every Zoom. I'm gonna set it up right now for the recording. The dog is going off.
Hey. Matter of fact, hold up. You know what I mean? To end this thing out, we got 30 minutes. We got 50 seconds left. Hey.